So we were about a month and a half into COVID, and I had gone through the waves of emotion that happens when you're isolated and away from your friends and away from your normal routine. I remember hitting a point of just complete anger and frustration. I felt powerless. I felt like I was unable to do anything, and I felt like I wasn't exuding light. I felt very dark, and it was a very dark place, and I was angry. I remember just sitting back and talking to God and just saying, God, please use all of my potential to your ability. Help use my gifts. Help me do what I do best out in the world, even though, we weren't supposed to be out, but I knew there was a way to still serve. I just didn't know what it was. At the garden that I was working at the time, my coworker ran into a woman at dropping off her compost, because we have a compost hub site there, and she noticed how much food she was bringing by, and she asked her about it, and she had told me about it when I got back to the garden, and immediately it was like, dang, you need to talk to this person, talk to these women, and find out where they're getting all this food and funnel food through your network of people. And that's exactly what I did. I got on the phone. I said, hey, my name's Natalie. I'm a community engagement coordinator. I'd love to start a hub site in my neighborhood for people in need. Can you entrust me to make bags for people that need it? And they're like, well, we'll give you a shot. And the following week, I was able to get a van load of good, healthy produce and bring it to the garage. And my neighbors, Michael and Mary Fitz, helped me package it all up, and we made a little flyer, and I let all my neighbors know to save all their paper bags, and we were able to save hundreds of bags, and in an hour and a half, or we were able to distribute 50 to 65 bags of food for people in need. And I just was appalled by how many people were in need, and people were telling us their stories. Like, I just got laid off. I have no idea how I'm gonna feed my family. I'm on my last $100. And that's like a surreal feeling when you're seeing your community, and people in nice cars too, say, I need help. Like, I need food. I can't feed my family. Us as a community shouldn't be letting our neighbors go hungry when we know that there's food literally rotting in the trash every single day from every restaurant and every major grocery store. So I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm needed. And every week we were able to just multiply the loaves of bread, multiply the food amount. And, I looked at my neighbors and I said, I think we're going to need a larger hub site, and we're going to need refrigeration, because a lot of the stuff we're getting is perishable, and it's, it needs to go to families in need. So that's when I put a call out to my friends and family, my network, and I said, hey, who's got a restaurant, who's got refrigeration, and who can help us and support us to do this hub site? And my friend Demetrius from the Venice Grind, my old boss, I just tapped into that network again, and I said, hey, we really need to do this. None of us are working. Demetrius just recently laid off 65 of his employees from his businesses. And I remember one of the hub sites we did, the first one at the Wood, were just for his employees. And the need is so great. And we can't, I couldn't just sit back and watch my neighbors go hungry when I know that I'm capable of doing something. This is where God told me to go. He said, feed your neighbors. I've always worked in food, so I think it made perfect sense that God was using me in this way. It just goes to show that when God is telling you to do something, you really just don't hesitate. You just go and do it. And I didn't know what I was doing. I've never made a flyer. I enlisted the help of my friends. I said, hey, does anyone know how to make a proper flyer? I asked my friend Mark Behringer. He edited all my stuff and said, you're good to go. Let's just roll with it. And I asked my family member if he could interpret everything in Spanish. So I leaned on all my neighbors and said, hey, please help get the word out that there's food, because I know there's hungry people in need. Just goes to show there's a lot of really important work that needs to be done, and it doesn't have to be so big and so huge. It's actually right at our fingertips if we're willing to just be humble, do the work, let God work through us, work through our networks, work through our gifts, and just be of service, and let God be the light and the love, and let that be the outpouring of the goodness that needs to be brought onto this earth, especially right now. I think food is the great bridge. It can bring people together from all parts of the world. Sharing food is a celebration, and it's such a sacred thing to do, to break bread with our neighbors. It makes perfect sense to me why God would use me this way. We started Nourish LA in my garage, and last Sunday we were able to feed 1,020 people. And that isn't even our record high. Our record is about 1,137 people. I'm a Christian. I was baptized about 2 years ago. My journey with God has not been simple, as I am very much kind of like a rainbow kid, but I know that God is really testing me and really wants me to keep fulfilling this need in our community, and that's feeding people.